Hi, my name is Tim, and in the next few minutes, I'm going to try and talk about a few specific things. Now, I'm in no way an expert, but for the last few days, I've been trying to get back into Bitcoins and have seen so much misinformation and advertisement for services that look like they're totally out there to scam you that I really wanted to share my views and experiences so that other people could get up to speed as quickly as possible. So, number one, is Bitcoin the right investment for you? So, if you're watching this video, chances are you've already heard of Bitcoins and or cryptocurrency and their insane growth in value. Now, there are plenty of videos out there that will explain to you the history and technicalities of Bitcoin and the technology behind it. And I'll probably link to some of them down in the description. But in this section, I'd like to talk about whether you should jump in on the hype train and invest in Bitcoins. Now, as of the making of this video, the value of Bitcoin has grown by almost 2000% in just 1 year. That is insane. So, while it does seem very attractive from an investment point of view, keep in mind that experts also speculate it to be extremely volatile. So, my advice, if you're an average person, would be to invest only the amount that you're willing to lose. For me personally, the rule is to try and not invest more than 10% of my spare change. So that's 10% of the amount of money that I have left after I have met my monthly saving goals. Now I know you could be tempted to invest more, but please be very careful. Being greedy has often hurt the very best of us. Number two, is it too late to invest in bitcoins? In short, no. From what I've observed, read, and researched so far, I don't think so. Now, you'll hear lots of people debating on both sides, but in my opinion, we'll see the value of Bitcoin rise even more before something drastic happens. So, in a nutshell, I do not think that it's too late to invest. Number three, is it a bubble? Or, in other words, is the value of Bitcoins going to crash? Here's what I think. The value of Bitcoins is probably going to rise even more before we see it either stabilizing or falling. And that may happen if, let's say, a major event happens, like a country like China bans the use of bitcoins or something else. However, I do not think that its value is completely going to diminish to nothing. Now, because the value of bitcoins and the blockchain technology can bring to society, even if the crash does happen, just like the dot-com bubble, you'll probably see the value of bitcoins rise again after a while. So, what are altcoins or alternative coins? Now, there are plenty of good videos up about this topic on YouTube again, and I could probably make one if you guys think that it's going to be useful. But in short, Bitcoin is just one way that cryptocurrencies can be implemented. As a matter of fact, it was the first reference implementation. But since then, there have been various other alternatives like Ethereum or Litecoin that have their own pros and cons that are starting to gain value thanks to the Bitcoin buzz. Number five, what are the two prominent ways you can invest in Bitcoin or any of the alternate coins today? Well, you could mine them or straight up buy them. Mining, in short, is the process by which new Bitcoins are found. You can do it either on your own computer hardware, a PC or a specialized miner, or in the cloud, wherein you pay a company that has specialized hardware to mine the cryptocurrency that you choose. Now, the amount of Bitcoins, which is probably going to be a small fraction of Bitcoin that you can mine per day, is going to be determined by two factors. One, your hardware's computing power, and two, the mining difficulty, which depends on certain other factors like how many other people are mining, etc. Now, the second investment strategy, in a nutshell, is to go on a website like Coinbase and buy a certain amount of Bitcoins, and then wait for its value to grow before selling it off. I can probably talk a little more on this topic if you guys think it's going to help you. So, what have I been doing? So, I've talked about mining and directly buying Bitcoins, but in short, I've been cloud mining with a service called HashCloud. Why? Well, why am I cloud mining instead of, let's say, buying my own hardware? Well, one, I didn't want to spend a lot of money up front. Two, I don't want to spend time on building on maintaining it. I mean, I'm pretty, I'd call myself an expert with computer hardware and software, but I just don't have the time to maintain it. And I wanted to get started as soon as possible. Most importantly, I wanted this to be a scalable solution. Now, while I could fill up an entire room in my apartment with the mining hardware, I didn't want that. So, while the cloud mining company does take a small share of my daily earning as fee, I find that option to be pretty convenient. Now, why am I mining and not directly buying bitcoins at this moment? In short, according to the current state of things, mining is more profitable. Let's say I had $300 to invest. Going at today's rate, I could probably buy 0.0177 worth of bitcoins. Now, let's say I put the same money in my Hashflare account and bought computing power. Assuming that the difficulty variable that I earlier talked about remains stable, I'll make more bitcoins. Even if the difficulty variable grows at the rate of about 14% or something every other week, I'm most probably going to be able to generate more bitcoins than what I'd get from just buying. Another really cool thing that I like about Hashflare is that they tell me how many bitcoins I generated every day, and I could, either withdraw that money once it has reached the threshold of about 0.0107 bitcoins, which if I divide by my daily earning, means that I can withdraw in about a month's time. Or instead of withdrawing, I could buy more hashing power from Hashflare as soon as I have enough in my account for that transaction to take place. And I could automate that reinvestment process, which kind of leads to a compound interest kind of phenomena. And in short, more computing power leads to you making more or generating more bitcoins. Now, last but not the least, like I said, these are just things that I have learned from my own experience. I'm in no way affiliated to Hashflare or Coinbase or any of these other companies. There's obviously a lot more we can talk about, so please feel free to join my Slack channel. I'll leave a link down in the description. I'm learning a lot of things myself, so if you're in a similar situation, I'd love to talk to you, and together perhaps we can learn more and see how things go. I'll also leave my referral link to Coinbase and Hashflare in the description. Now, you guys obviously don't need to use those links to register if you want to do that. But if you do use those links, you'll probably get $10 off if you spend about $100 on Coinbase. And if you register on Hashflare using my code, I'll probably get a little more computing power. So yeah, I really appreciate their favor. So thank you for listening, guys. This was my first YouTube video. If you think it was useful, please like, comment, subscribe, join my Slack channel. Let me know what you think you found useful or where you thought I was wrong and what you'd like to see next. See ya.